Okay, what am I capable of? If my audience is Graham Priest, Hartree Field, and David Chalmers, and Stephen Yablo, and Brandon Fiddleson, who else comes to mind? Nathan Salmon. Scott Soames. Jesus, the list just explodes in front of you, doesn't it? Bob Stelnaker, Richard Heck. How about Enrico Higginbotham? There's a name for y'all. He's working on his PhD, apparently, in Uto, Aztecan something or others in the American Southwest. He is at Arizona, where James Higginbotham lectured. I have heard those lectures. And where Professor Chomsky is also emeritus. Emeritus something or other. Emeritus warm weather during winter time in Boston. I don't know, I don't know anything about Professor Chomsky's schedule or what he's up to, and he's 97. Okay, I'm 2 minutes in. So in 28 minutes, y'all think that I can run analytic of the same concept? Matt Heimson on the one hand versus two dogmas of empiricism on the other. Can he do it, ladies and gentlemen? He's 2 minutes and 36 seconds in. I have not even opened the essays yet, although I should. I should probably just let this tape roll to exactly 30 minutes. Because the unedited tape, what do they call that in film? Burke Roberts? This is the way to cheat on your analytic philosophy demo tape with ChatGPT. If I even remember what I was going to ask it. What the fuck am I doing? I'm making a demo tape, and it involves Matt Heimson and two dogmas of empiricism, and what am I going to do with those now? I'm going to make them into the same thing, and I'm going to convince you that I did that plausibly, that they actually discussed the very same thing, and that it could have been expounded within the space of half a Gettier paper. Gettier? The justified true belief thing? I always confuse Gettier and Sellers. I don't know why. Well, they both they're short papers. Four minutes and 40 seconds in. What was I going to look up? Something about de se propositions, I think. Oh, I was going to bring in Laubin. Oh, so if I bring in Laubin and Leo Pater and say Herbert Garner, Leo Pater, Leo Pater and Gustav Laubin, Leo Pater, and we'll just use Garner. Shit, he's the fourth name that appears, isn't it? Screw the third man. I'll go with the fourth man. Okay. What was I going to ask ChatGPT? Okay, so, well, anyway, I'm just wasting time, so I was going to talk about breaking up the video and doing the long cut. Yeah, right. Because it all comes back to some immediate experience right here, doesn't it, Hartree Field? In auteur filmmaking. Spelled auteur, auteur. I don't know how to spell auteur. Film making. One long take with a huge budget can only be performed once, and only once. What sort of a filmic shot is that called? Dr. Pepper? A oneer, one take shot. A oneer is a single continuous take that constitutes a whole scene, etc., etc. See, I told you I was a symbolic idealist. At the bar, the person that I talked to a person. They said that they were interested. I'll try to euphemize this. They are interested in, they represented themselves as being a practitioner. I'll leave it at that. And I'll tell you, the girl was smoking ass hot. I mean, oh God damn. I even did that in front of her. I was like, honey, you're so attractive. I said, and I went, ah! Stupid. She was laughing, even if she was being polite. Well, that was kind of her. What the fuck am I doing right now? Oh, I'm teaching Quine and David Lewis, and I'm already almost 10 minutes into my lecture, and I only have 20 more minutes left. So I guess I got 10 minutes to teach two dogmas and 10 minutes to teach the other one. What is it? I don't even know what it's called. Fuck. Dimitri, how are you going to teach an essay? You don't even know what it's called. Jesus. Oh, well, if I go Madheimson, Fiddleson, I'll just pick up. It'll be the one on his website. David Hume's theory of causation is an analysis of the causal. Yeah. Mads Heimson Fiddleson refers to Mads Heimso and Brandon Fiddleson. No. No, dear LLM, no. Attitudes, de dicto and de se. If I hear the patter of little feet around the house, I expect Bruce. What I expect is a cat, a particular cat. If I heard such a patter in another house, I might expect a cat, but no particular cat. What I expect then seems to be a Meinongian incomplete cat. I expect winter, expect stormy weather, expect to shovel snow, expect fatigue, a season, a phenomenon, an activity, a state. I expect that mankind will inhabit at least 5 planets. This time what I expect is a state of affairs. But is it really? De re. State of affairs is de re. De dicto is the phrase state of affairs in quotation marks. So the phrase state of affairs indicates or is related to some metaphysics where de re and the phrase de re which is actually de dicto. Word and object gets you what? Jack shit, unless you have glue. That's what they say. That's you. That's what Kant called transcendental apperception. It is the universal thematizing I. Every time you say the word I, some electrical pulse hits some stable, ordinary state of consciousness such that personal identity gets reinforced and dispersed and something like that. But it is a metabolically paced. Ray and dicto, what? You're just gonna get dirt and books. Where's the glue? You're the glue. I'm the glue. They say propositions. I don't even know who gets the credit for coming up with the term they say, but anyway, that's a Latin question. Okay, so we're talking about Meinongian. Okay, well, I don't know. Okay. And I've got 15 minutes to do this now. Well, we at least understand what de re and de dicto are. And maybe de se. Well, we understand at least, anyway, that the term de se refers to propositions or sentences that self-refer that refer to the speaker. It is a sentence that refers to the speaker of the sentence. As I scratch my ass, sorry. No offense. All right, so the two dogmas, one, you got the analytic synthetic distinction. That's a good dyadic split. And you've got a reductionism. So you've got a kind of bidirectional pump. You've got a kind of bidirectional epistemic pump whereby synthesis or analysis can go in either direction. If you borrow from one place in the system, you have to make up for it and adjust somewhere else in the system. We're talking about language now. An analytic distinction or an analytic proposition is a proposition, it is said, that is true come what may. A synthetic proposition can be true contingently by historical associations of events. Ideas become associated together through time or across space. Analytic truths are said to be true by virtue of the meanings alone. Chances are we're dealing with analytic propositions if we can resolve the meanings of our words and sentences solely through the use of a dictionary. an unmarried man is a bachelor come what may, but an unmarried man is unmarried roughly only by virtue of some historically determined reason. So accidentally or contingently, or in the Kantian, or is synthetically. Synthetic now, Kant figures that geometry has an analogous relation to the world of practical geometry. So you throw a ball in the air and it makes an arc, and a parabola roughly is analogous. So he figures that there's some robust basis to follow our intuitions on this. So synthetic judgments a priori, right? I didn't even get to the word a priori yet. Okay, a priori is true come what may. So without prior experience, we know it's true. Posteriori, without posterior experience, without posteriori, without posterior, with posterior experience. A priori is before, a posteriori is after. Why don't they say anteriori? Anteriori, posteriori, right? So why don't they say anteriori? They say a priori, not anteriori. A anteriori, a posteriori. There's only a few structural coordinates to this. It would help if I actually read the fucking essays. Do I really have what? 6 minutes. Okay, so Matt Heimson believes he's David Hume. He says, I wrote the inquiry, and, I hang out with my friends on Friday nights, and I play billiards, and he says things like, my name is David Hume. But his name is not Hume, and his name is Heimson. So the question that Lewis and this discourse is exploring He self-attributes a property. Heimson self-attributes a property. That's the theory that was expounded prior to Lewis, which I don't know who he was rejecting off the top of my head. I should know this, but anyway, it's supposed it's probably even suggested. I mean, of course, it's very near to the origin in Der Gedanke, but if the self-attribution of a property is the proper way, is the correct way to think of yeah, Heimson is actually from Perry. Falsely believes himself to be David Hume. All right, propositional attitudes. The mistaken self-ascription of a property he does not possess. Right. He self-ascribes mistakenly the property of being Hume. Mistaken self-ascription. That's probably the skeleton key to the whole apparatus. Mistaken self-ascription. Because it's not the. I mean, if we follow. See? Quota ad demonstrandum. Now you understand crazy ass Matt Heimson and David Lewis and whatever the fuck else I said that it was. Der Gedanke and David Lewis and